What's up, y'all? Hey, I've been waiting to do this webinar for y'all for a very long time. Thank y'all for joining. Like I said, this is a webinar that's going to hopefully help change your life. All right. So this is the first time I've ever done it. So give me a second. All right. So I'm just learning a few things, but a little about myself right here. I am Mr. Invest in Yourself, the creator of Wealth Warriors. I drop these personal financial tips. I think this is very important overall in a lot of people's lives, and it will help in so many ways. I'm gonna tell you a little about my story as we get started, but let's go ahead and look into it. So I want to show you to become wealthy the easy way. All right. These are things that I've actually done myself. Okay. So here's one of my favorite quotes right here. God didn't add another day to your life because you needed it. He added it because someone needed you. All right. Go ahead and screenshot that if you like. This is one of the daily quotes that I wake up to every single day. And I know that somebody out there needs something that I have to offer, so I'm here to show it. Okay. Um, so the reason I made this presentation or this webinar is if you read it right here, 78% of the population, that means over three-fourths of the population is paycheck to paycheck. And in today's time of 2023, it's just getting even more further apart between the wealthy and those that just live in paycheck to paycheck. And when you're paycheck to paycheck, you become in this survival mode. All right. And that causes a lot of tension, frustration, and unhappiness. That is 78% of our population. All right. So we can figure out how to reduce this number of where people don't have these tensions, of where people don't have these frustrations, where people are not unhappy. I think that would help the overall community be a stronger and better community. All right. 52% of minority men, that means every out of every two minority men, they make less than $38,000, right? That means $20, they make less than $20 an hour. Back then, when the families were structured as the head guy, as the husband or the man goes to work and the wife stays home, that was doable. But with the times of inflation, that is not doable. These guys are barely able to support themselves, let alone a family. And this has caused the absence in the homes. They're either working multiple jobs or they're bending over backwards to work late hours at one job. Now, I'm not going to lie, that used to be me right there, making less than $20 an hour. So I understand, trying to go out there and work one job and then come back and try to work a second job. And then after that, try to do a side hustle like Uber or Lyft or something or Instacart, something like that. But today, we'll provide simple strategies to help improve your current financial status to maximize your wealth. All right. So, as I was saying earlier, before I knew all this information about to share with you, I was a college athlete, right? We got a stipend every single month and we'll blow it. I'll just blow it, go buy clothes, go buy all the drinks for everybody. Once I got out of college, I thought I had a degree, thought I was going to go do something great. I was an athlete, thought I was going to go be athletic and do something athletic, but I wind up working three jobs, right? So my morning job was to get up at 5 and go work at the UPS airport, right? Where I delivered, like put the boxes on the planes to be delivered. After I get done with there for working from 5 to 9, then I'll go to my day job where I was at a call center where I was trying to help recruit people into different IT jobs. And I worked that 9 to 5, right? And then I will get off of there and then I'll go work as a server at BJ's. And then I'll work 9 to 11 there, right? And then sometimes it'll be 9 to whenever we close. From 5 to 11 or 5 to whenever we close. And then I will go home, sleep for a second. And at this time, get this, I didn't even have my own place because I'm going to tell you in a second. If you look down here, I got evicted. I got my car repossessed. I had a super low credit score, but I used to sleep on my mom's couch. And while I was doing these three jobs, I was just barely surviving, right? And I still didn't have enough to get myself out of any kind of financial debt. Then real estate changed my life. All right. So I got evicted twice. But the second time, as I was getting evicted, the person in the office said, "Hey, Joe, why don't you just come work in the office?" And I said, "Okay, cool." It was like, that's how you could pay back your debt. And when I joined real estate, I ran into a lot of different people. And one of my favorite quotes also is, change your conversations. It will change your realizations, and that will open you up to better compensation. All right. So the conversations changed. I started getting financial education. When the real estate industry, you learn how to run a business, and then I really learned how to become your own bank. And I'm gonna talk more about that later on. And now today I have over 5 figures in multiple accounts, 700 plus credit score. I'm show you how to do that. Multiple sources of revenue coming in, and now I'm just helping families have this peace because I knew what it felt like to struggle. And I say families because that first part was before I had a family. And then when I had a family, it got even worse to where I wasn't doing well again. So the fact that I am where I am today is just super, super powerful. And I just want to share that with others. 7 things I really instilled in myself right here before I even begin this journey was the first three is super, super important. It is eat clean, train dirty, have an abundant mindset. Those three right there, what you put into your body, what's going to come out. You training your body is allowing you to persevere through a lot. And then that abundant mindset, that is where you get that knowledge at. That is where YouTube University really sealed the deal for me. All right. And I'm going to give y'all my little tidbits later on too. The next four is a wealth creator, a digital entrepreneur, living a luxurious lifestyle, and then becoming a spiritual warrior. The wealth creator, I'm going to actually show you the steps to here. Digital entrepreneur, I'll share something that I'm involved with that y'all can be involved with. Luxury lifestyle is you have to really care for yourself. Like, you cannot just work all your life and not really pour nothing into yourself. So I'm going to show you how you can structure this so you can have a luxurious lifestyle. And then a spiritual warrior, that's when you really are going into your purpose overall. Okay, y'all. All right. So I want to give y'all this quote. All right, this quote, I feel like you should screenshot it. And this is one of the quotes I read every morning, along with God didn't wake me up because I needed it. God woke me up because somebody needed me. Right here. This is the abundant mindset. Your internal conversation starts with affirmations in the morning. All right. Here's a powerful, powerful affirmation you can use. And it says, I am. And you have to say it as if it's in the present moment. Whenever you use any affirmations, you say, I am abundant in every good way. Infinite. Infinite money is mine to earn, save, invest, and exponentially multiply and share. My abundance is making everyone better off. I embrace abundance and abundance embrace me. That is from one of my favorite books, The 1 Minute Millionaire. If y'all get a chance, go grab that book, okay? Speaking of books, this is the book where it all started right here. This is what really started me on my way. This is after I had my family. I was down again, and I'm going to tell you a little about my family in a minute. But this book right here, How Money Works, right? I thought I knew how money worked at first until I read this book, and it opened up more ways money can be used. So the reason this book was a game changer is because it showed me how to not only use my money one way. What is that traditional one way? Is you get money, you spend money, and then you save the extra. And I've heard it so many times. They'd be like, 10% of the money go to yourself, and then you invest that money and different things like that. But literally, you can get the money, invest the money in the asset, and then borrow the money. That's something I've never really paid attention to. Is you borrow the money from the asset and then you spend the money from there. But the asset is going to continuously generate money. This is the luxurious lifestyle I was talking about. But before we get there, you have to figure out why be wealthy. All right. If money was not a factor, what would you do? This is where I talked about as a wealth warrior. We are a community of individuals where we strengthen each other and we have the wealth to take action when action is needed. All right. Let me ask you, would you be more present in the moment if money was not a factor? Would you volunteer more? would you provide others with peace in their life? If money wasn't a factor, what's the best way you can contribute to this moment in history? All right. We only hear, they say the days are long, but the years are short. You only here for a little bit of time. What are you contributing to the history in this moment? All right. And you can do the easy two things. Those are things you're good at because you know how to do them. Or you can do the easy not to. And this is where the discipline and consistency will really take a hold. But as you can see down here, my biggest why is my son. And I know a lot of people will think, family. I was speaking to one guy before, and he said, Joe, what was your motivation? I said, it's my son. He said, okay, I guess I need to go out there and have a kid, and I'm gonna name my kid right after you. I thought that was the funniest thing. And I said, no, you have to figure it out. So this is another quote. Sorry, I got a lot of quotes for y'all. It says, when your cry is bigger than your why, you will move. My son was born on July 25th, 2019. 3 months later, he was crying, as you can see in his first picture. He's crying excessively. We used to joke about his head being too big, and but what he had pressure on his brain, and the fluids wasn't going from his brain to out the rest of his body, so it was just causing his head to swell. The second picture right here, as you can see, this is when he was just tired. He was just tired of crying. He had been crying for almost 48 hours straight. As you can see, I have the Warrior band right here. And I remember he just grabbed my hand, and laying on his side like this helped him because the fluids wasn't just as much. And so this is right before he went to surgery. He was just so sad. And that's why I said when your cry is bigger than your why. Earlier I asked you, what was your why? But this right here was super powerful. My son went through the surgery. I try to stay happy for him. And this is when I'm at the low point of my life. I'm like at super low point right now. Can barely provide for my family. My wife is pretty much taking care of everything. I'm working those 3 or 4 jobs again. Didn't learn my lesson first time. And just not where I need to be. And so as you can see, he has this tube in his head that actually sucks up the fluids into his brain and goes all the way to his belly. At 3 months, he had this surgery. Okay. Actually, I made an entire video about it. Kaylin hydrocephalus surgery on Sunday special. It is on my YouTube. But I go through all the details of the story, but I actually cry in this. So what happened was December 31st, 2019, I said a prayer. And I remember I look at the time after I said the prayer. It was 11:54. And it says, I'll be as strong as my son, and no longer would I make any excuses because he don't. I will find a way. My son always finds a way, right? And so that was December 31st, 2019. I started to really implement these things I'm about to share with y'all. And as I can say, we actually bought our house. We was in October of 2021, 2 years later, or 3 years later, 2022, because this is 2023. We bought our house. I got my evictions paid down. I got my collections paid down. I got all my credit cards paid down. My wife actually had a great credit score. I was just super behind. D.R. Horton blessed us with a house. And then that same year, so in October, we got the house. And then come December, I actually purchased her dream car for her. Like I paid for it and everything. So like I said, and then also is my son. He's like all smiles and giggles. I actually grew out my hair along with him. I think that was part of my superpowers too, because my hair is long because my son had that tube in his head, and I said I'm going to stick to when my cry is bigger than my why. So every day my hair is a reminder of I need to keep pushing. All right. So that's just a little about me, y'all. So like I said, Wealth Warriors, that is the name of our community. And here's our motto. It's a community of individuals utilizing financial capabilities to strengthen neighborhoods. With the access to wealth, listen to that again, with the access to wealth. So it's not about the money. It's about what you're going to do with the money, because we are able to take the action when needed with the access to wealth. All right. So that's why I want to build more strong wealth warriors. All right. So here it is right here, y'all. hey, this is the basics of everything we're going to go over. And it starts with a financial statement. As earlier I said, you need a stable income. So you're going to have that stable income up here in the top part right here. And then you want to go through your expenses. All right. Expenses are very important. I'm going to show you how to get all these. Your assets is what's going to help make you money. And your liabilities is what's taking money out of your pocket. And then this is your net worth. And then this is your buying power. All right. This is your cash flow. Once you get off, once your income minus your expenses, you have your cash flow. And then this is your credit statement, okay, or your credit score. And we want to utilize this to purchase real estate and businesses. We're going to show you all this, all right? So systems, save yourself time, energy, and money and strategies, okay? This is the building blocks. 10% is yours. It's for your wealth building. 20% is for your loans, your luxuries. That's when I told you that luxurious lifestyle. We're going to show you how you can implement that because you deserve to live for now. All right. And then your 70% is for your lifestyle. So these three different things is what we're going to help you create. And once you understand this and break it down, then you have the basics of a balance sheet. The point is to have more assets than liabilities. You want that income to come from your assets. I'm going to show you that, okay? But before I get there, something is super, super important. This is what's talked about and how money works is financial protection for your family or my family, right? Life insurance. I encourage everybody to get some form of term life insurance. This allows you to have the peace that you need while you're on your building journey. All right, and it's so simple, right? It's so affordable, y'all. That's the thing. It's so affordable. So say you're making that $40,000 a year. So with term insurance, if something should happen to you, I tell anybody to get, starting off, I always say get 5 to 10 years, but if you can afford more, then get more. But however long it's going to take you to become super wealthy, get that amount of time, right? So 10 years to 20 years is a good one right here. So that means if you make $40,000 a year, that means you want $400,000 in term insurance. What does that do for your family? If something should happen to you, that means they have 10 years of your income to still live off of to get themselves better. They are going to need time to grieve. They are going to need time to get their self readjusted to you not being here. So that's why I say get anywhere from 5 to 20 years of your 5 to 20 times your annual income in life insurance. All right. And it's super affordable. Like I said, y'all, I'm gonna help you walk through this. This is just making you aware. But this is financial protection for your family, right? And then what we're gonna eventually do is we're gonna have more money than your term insurance because the term is only gonna last uh only for a certain amount of time. But that is why we're gonna have that amount and we're gonna have that target goal to get there. We're gonna go over that in a little bit earlier. All right, another thing, y'all. Taking control of my own finances. Say it with me. Taking control of my own financing. This is reducing your tax contribution and managing my own money, right? So this is the realization part. You're having a conversation. That realization is going to help boost your compensation. Watch this. Like I said, I appreciate the government, but their job is to protect. Do you get that? The job of the government is to protect. That is why they have the military. That is why they help implement like areas to help control things and pay for schools and pay for roads. That is the job of the government is to do that to protect it. But they take another part of your income because they feel like you're not giving back to the community in the best way. That's why I say with the wealth warriors, we are building our communities. We're building our neighborhoods stronger because with the access to your wealth, you're able to take action. All right. So when I first started taking control of my own finances, I reduced my tax contribution, and this allowed me to have more flow, more cash flow, y'all. So that's why I say you want to learn how to take control. I'm going to go over that with you. So right here, the sleep number, right? This is the number you must have earning a certain amount to live off comfortably. So we're going to go over how to do a financial statement. But here's this a simple summary. You take your monthly expenses, you multiply that by 300. All right, you take your monthly expenses, you multiply that by 300. You find an account making at least 4% a year. That's very doable. They used to have savings account that used to give that. I'm gonna show you how you can get at least 4% of your money compounding for you a year, which would be amazing. As you can see from this example, $5,000. Say your monthly expenses is $5,000. You do 5,000 times 300, right? And this is $60,000 a year. So maybe I should have did a $40,000 a year. I think that comes out to like $3,000. So this would be $900,000. You take that, multiply that by that amount a year. There you go. Now you're making your amount passively. That account is earning 4% a year. That means you're not doing nothing. You're just earning this money. Now you're passively earning your current monthly expenses. You have financial freedom now because you no longer have to work. You only work because you want to. All right. So that's where we're going to try to get you to, is finding out how to get you to your sleep number. Here we go. Wealth Warrior steps. All right. First thing we're going to do is organize. We're going to organize your finances. Us as human beings, whenever we have to manually do something, we usually get lazy and stop doing it. So when you learn how to organize and then you automate, which is number 2, you automate, now you are starting to make the system run a little better. We're going to show you this. I want you to get cash back and then learn the movements of the money, right? And then sales is basically solve a problem. That's it. We're going to go more into that. And then the multiplier is one of the funnest ones. And I know a lot of people are probably just going to try to skip to the end to the multiplier. But no, listen, really, really walk through these steps. And you can watch this video multiple times because it will show you something new. And I'm going to try to do these webinars coming soon a lot more, okay? So right here, we got the organization parts. And you see I got the gears of the wheel because one part has to start moving for the other parts to start working. That's why we're starting right here. So step 1, I want you to pull your free credit report on annualcreditreport.com. On there, you're going to find all of your liabilities, right? Anything that has a total payoff, a minimum payment, and an interest payment. Those are the 3 things you need right there. The total amount to pay it off, the minimum payment, and the interest payment, right? Step 2, I want you to pull your bank records for 12 months. All right, go back 12 months because we want to find monthly bills, quarterly bills, and annual payments. We're going to break them down all to monthly charges. Step 3, we're going to build out that spreadsheet of expenses and liabilities. Then we want to identify how the payments are being paid, right? So are they being drafted from your bank account or they're coming from a card, all right? And once you do this organization, I promise you, you will be able to see everything, y'all. This is where it all started for me. This right here, these 3 steps will really help me become organized and focused on that day in December 31st of 2019. This is what I did. I said, you know what? I'm going to really focus on my money because there's more than one way to use a dollar. All right. So here's the financial statement that I was just talking about. We created this. We can send it to you. Just all you gotta do is just reach out to us, or you probably already get it. If you already dropped your email, you probably already get this. But this is a snapshot for today. This is for today. This is long-term planning. All right. So you have your paycheck and your business income. If you have business, if you have 3 jobs, you put 3 jobs. You have 3 businesses, you have 3 businesses. But you want stable income right here. So if you're making a yearly, like, say once a year you get $10,000 just because, right? Then you'll break up $10,000 divided by 12 because these are monthlies, okay? Then you got your expenses, and then you'll just label out all of your expenses. So housing, groceries, car insurance, utilities, electric bill, etc., etc. Right here is liabilities minimum payment. So in this right here, it will automatically take out all of your liabilities. This minimum payment right here, it's going to automatically shoot in right there. Everything in blue you do not have to touch. For your taxes and income, so what I did right here is, say you got that lump sum of $10,000, but you haven't paid taxes on it yet. This formula right here is automatically going to take your total income and then take out the 30% of taxes. So that 30% of taxes, you're going to see that amount right there. Same along with your paycheck. Say you make $20 an hour, you work 40 hours a week, and you put that amount right there. You're not seeing your real total amount. This right here is showing you how much you are losing to taxes. So remember earlier I told you that if you really want to take control of your own finances, you reduce your tax contribution. And I'm going to show you how to do that later. Your business expenses. If you decide to get some kind of business, this is the digital entrepreneur lifestyle, you'll put all your business expenses down here and they'll label out for you right here. Then you have your cash flow. And this is what we're going to invest back into our assets to get to that sleep number. All right. And you're going to have your credit scores listed out right here. So that way you will know what your credit scores are, because we're going to show you how to do a funding day. We're going to use your credit to get a lot of funding to really build assets. But all your credit scores need to be in the same exact area. And then we'll pick one day to where we're going to run all of your credit stuff at the same time to increase your buying power. All right, over here in your long-term planning, as you can see, savings account, index universal life insurance, real estate, business, 401k, RA, stocks, crypto, whatever is making you money, you're earning interest off of, whatever the total amount, you're going to put it on over here. Okay, y'all? And it's going to add up for you. So that way you know your total number you're running. Okay? Remember, we're trying to get to our sleep number. Our sleep number is going to be right here with our net worth. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then here's your liabilities. From that annual credit report, you're going to pull all of your liabilities right here and then list them out. Okay? Now, one thing I want to clarify. There's one thing that I want to really clarify. Rent is an expense. Your mortgage is a liability because it has a payoff amount. Your rent doesn't have a payoff amount. So just keep that in mind when you're really running this, okay? Do not put your rent or anything or a lease on this side. Your leases will go over here on this side. If you have a car lease or a rental, or you're renting out, you'll put it on your expenses, because that's money. Your expenses is money that helps you sustain your lifestyle, basically. Your liabilities is your luxuries, okay? So remember that your liabilities are your luxuries, your expenses is your lifestyle. All right. And then down here we got you got your net worth. That will be your assets minus your liabilities. You want your net worth positive. At first it might not be positive, but that is okay. Do not worry. We're going to help you make it positive, right? That extra cash flow right here will go over here to help you build these up, and you'll earn interest off of your cash flow. Now you're turning your income into capital to help you cash flow. Then we have our buying power. All right. There's a few credit cards I always recommend. You want a credit card that has no annual fee, because that is the credit card you're going to help build up your credit, like your length of your credit history. All right. And it's free to do when you have no annual fee with a credit card. Credit card that I love the most is the cashback or rewards credit cards, right? We use these for the majority of our lifestyle purchases. American Express is a very high-notch card you want to try to obtain. You need at least a 720 to even start the conversation. And then personal line of credit, that is what I like to use when we start using Velocity Banking, right? Personal line of credit is amazing for Velocity Banking. And Velocity Banking, we'll talk about more, but it's just how you can pay off your luxuries even faster than normal. Okay? And then a HELOC loan, that is just basically equity in your house. You can use that. It has Velocity Banking to pay off your luxury liabilities a lot faster. Okay? And then we want to label out our life insurance. So this will help with your sleep number. So you want term and you want some cash value life insurance. We'll go over those more later on, but as you can see, this is something that you really want to obtain, is this financial statement, okay? So like I say, we are wealth warriors, and this is our model: a community of individuals utilizing financial capabilities to strengthen our neighborhoods. And like I said, these are the first steps. With the access to wealth, we are able to take the action when needed. All right, y'all. Here's the breakdown of the credit score. All right. So once you got all your stuff organized, then we want to just try to help you organize your credit score. So as you can see, there is a total of 550 points. So all accounts start at 300 and they go to 850, right? The lowest you can have is a 300. There's 550 points. And then you have your percentages of each category, okay? 35% is payment history. This is where the automation will come in perfectly, is when you set up automatic payments to these accounts, which we're going to show you how to do in a little bit. Then you will get all of these points. So that's 192 plus the 300, it's automatically a 492. Boom, 100% excellent credit. Now, if you have any late fees or late payments, we'll show you how to really work with the companies to send out some letters. We'll share some different tips. But as you can see, one late payment can just drop you. And now you're getting 98% of these points. Now you're getting 97% of these points. You don't want to try to lose none of these points. These points are crucial. Next up, we got the 30% credit utilization. So by keeping your credit cards paid off, which what we do is we try to pay off our credit cards every Sunday, you get another 165 points, right, y'all? So that's why I'm saying it's so important. So 192 plus 165 equals 357. And that means plus that 300, you're sitting at a 657 already. So if you have less than a 650, these two areas right here, if you work on them, if you work on your payment history, getting it to excellent and paying down your credit cards, just those two alone will put you at a 650, right? Then we have the length of history, right? A lot of people use trade lines to boost this part. But if you can get at least 9 years of history, that's why I said the no annual credit cards is the most important thing. Then you get the 82 points, and now you're sitting at a 739. You didn't even do nothing. 739 for making your payments on time, keeping your credit cards below 9-10%, and then having at least 9 years of credit history. You're at a 739. Now you can do that funding day. Same thing with the inquiries. By having less than 55 inquiries, so say you have these first two, 192 plus the 165, I think that came out to 357. But then you have 0 inquiries on your thing, so you get all the 55 points. So the 357 plus 55, you're looking at 412. Plus the 300, you're looking at a 712. Boom. 712 right off the back. You see how simple it is now when you understand, when you break things down. And then if you get total accounts, over 21 accounts, that's open and closed. That's just building up over time. That's why when they say the 850 credit score is kind of hard to reach, it's because of this right here, total accounts. Because you can only have so many inquiries at a time, but the total accounts is where it gets kind of difficult. That's why they say by you having anywhere from a 780 to an 800, you're still doing really, really good without those 55 points to reach the 850. Okay? That is just breaking down credit. Now watch this. These are some credit tips in guarding. So there's a Vantage score and then there's a FICO score. The Vantage score is your profile. What is your profile? Your profile is your personal info like your name, address, employer. So you have your Vantage score, which gives you all of your information as far as like all of your data. And then you have your FICO, which is actual the score. And it's what the lending companies use to determine if they should lend you money or if they should allow you access to their cash, right? So that's why I said when you understand how the breakdown works right here, then you understand how you can play this game better. Now it gets even better. Whenever you are going through your account and you're trying to get cards, these are the starter cards. It's anywhere from 300 to 1,000. I like to use the credit cards as an emergency fund. So as you can see, level 1 is starting you out at the 300 to 1,000. Once you go to level 2, this is what we do on our funding day. We try to get access to more and more money. Now you're at 1,000, 4,500. Then level 3, 5,000 to 10K. This is some serious leverage right here because now you can use this money to really leverage your assets. Now, when you get to level 4, become boss moves, you're having access to one card with $50,000. Or if you get an American Express, they are usually known as charge cards. So their limits are pretty good. That's why I said American Express is a really good one to have. But now you have access to some real wealth. And that just takes time to grow. Now for your personal info, I always recommend you have one name listed on there. So if you already pull your annual credit report, you probably see like multiple names. You want to get rid of all the names that's not spelled correctly in your formal name. You want to have one address. You want to have one employer. You want to update all that. Now, watch this. If your credit score is low from different things that you've done in the past, now when you got those all removed, and then you do one other thing I'm going to show you in just a second, you can send these validations to be verified letters, right? So the validation verified is validate that this is me, please. And if they cannot find the spelling of your name that they have on their report, or the address that you put on that file on that report, or the employer that you was with at that time of that report, they have to legally remove it. And then you can ask them, you can send a 611, which is, tell me how you validated this. Does it have a wet signature? Do you have the actual form? Tell me how you sent this. How you validate this method, that you validate that this is me in the first place. That's all these letters are saying, is just tell me how you're validating it. If you cannot validate it, I'm not saying that it doesn't belong to me. I'm just saying that if you can't validate it, then technically that's not me. You just need to remove it. And then that's called identity theft type of deal. But that is what the 609 and 611 letters is about. And I'm going to show you more about that in a minute too. But I want to tell you about this consumer law, right? So technically, nothing should be reported on your credit report as far as your privacy. So this is why you have the access to go on there and clean it up. But if you don't know you can clean it up, then you don't clean it up. All right. So this is why it's very important to have one name printed on your report the correct way. All right. Shows you that you're not being scammy using other names. Address on files, one simple. Don't look like you move around a lot. One job listed. It wants to show that you're stable working at your current job. This is all very important stuff, y'all. All right. So before you send out those letters, though, you need to do this. The secondary bureaus, CoreLogic, they run mostly like the criminal background, LexisNexis, ARS, SageStream, Innovis. You want to put a freeze on all of them because they are the ones that help validate your information. So after you already did the consumer law and you updated all that, then you want to come over here and freeze all of these. That's just a simple credit repair tip for you right now. Okay, y'all? All right. Like I said, the Wealth Warriors. It's very important you understand, like, our motto is a community of individuals utilizing financial capabilities to strengthen neighborhoods with the access to wealth. We are able to take action when action is needed. Okay? Y'all, this is super important. All right, y'all. So that's what I'm saying. It's like these are just financial strategies to strengthen neighborhoods. That's just basically just strengthening yourself. We haven't even started talking about the money yet. That's just a tip of the iceberg, right? So allocation. This is the fun part. This is where I say once you start doing automation and you're giving your money some purpose, then you can literally start seeing some real results. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is set up 3 different bank accounts. One is going to be for your wealth creation fund. That's your wealth creator. Second one is going to be for fixed liabilities. That's your luxurious lifestyle. And then the last one is for flexible accounts and expenses. And I have different percentages right here. These are what I use. You can change them up, but one thing you cannot change is a 10% for the wealth creation fund. This is a must. It's a very good book called The Richest Man in Babylon. These are the same percentages that he used, 10, 20, and 70, right? And you can change it up, like I said, however you want, but you definitely need the 10% for your wealth creation. So as you can see here, when we talk about the financial statement, this 20% will be your liabilities. This will keep you in line so that way you're not living outside of your range. You're not paycheck to paycheck, really, right? And then your investments will always be adding on because you're send 10% over here regardless. So these two alone is just 30% of your income right there. Now, this is what I was telling you earlier. If you reduce, a lot of people be like, I just can't put the 10% over there and this and that. But I'll be like, but you got this fancy car. You got this house that's out of your price range. You're not trying to invest 10% of your own money that you earn into your long-term planning, right? You got 70% of this money to really live off of now, right? Unless you buy a home, your mortgage, then you could try to switch up these numbers a little bit, right? But once you figure out how to reduce your taxes, and I'm gonna show you something later that you can literally reduce your utility bills, right? It's called Bill Shredder. You can cut some of that stuff down, and you can have some more extra cash flows so you can put it into your long-term planning or paying off debt, one of those others. That's how simple it is. And then this is what I was saying, velocity banking. Like I said, YouTube University is amazing. If you look up this guy named Denzel Napoleon Rodriguez, he goes into debt on this strategy. And basically what you're doing is putting all your debt into one place to help you consolidate your debt. So say that on your, we're going to go right here. Say your liabilities, you got all your minimum payments, right? But you got this personal line of credit is $5,000. And then the minimum payment for that one is $100. But all these other ones are like the car is $250, the home is $1,500, the credit card is $300, and that's it, right? Student loans or whatever is about what, $300 or something. What you'll do is you'll take all these minimum payments and you'll put the entire amount on the credit card, and then you'll try to pay off one of these things, whichever is the lowest, or whichever had the lowest total, or whichever one has the lowest interest. And you'll stick that all on one thing and you'll pay it off. And then instead of paying like two things at one time, now you're just paying one thing back. And you keep doing that. So every time this refills, you do it again, and you take big chunks out of your payment, like big chunks. And then you just put that payment over here with your personal line of credit or your buying power, whatever one you want. And you just keep doing that, and you'll chunk it away. And that's how you can pay off your debt a lot faster, because the interest is being paid down a lot faster than the total balance. So that is velocity banking. It's chunking at your debt quickly. All right. You just need a credit line. That's it. You're not using your paycheck. You're just using your credit line. So you keep your minimum payments the same, but you're chunking away at the total debt a lot quickly, right? It's an amazing, amazing process. All right. Another thing, money in the bank equals wealth stopped. Now, believe it or not, the bank is selling you a product. They sell you a checking account. They sell you a savings account. They only keep 10% of your money in there in the first place, and they loan out 90% of your money, right? So if they are doing that, why can't you do that too? And they are earning interest on a lot of different things, and then they have the decency to give you 0.01%. They're earning anywhere from 4 to 24%. And that's over a long time. 4% if you get in the house, 24% if you got a credit card. So why are you not making these returns a lot better? This is why it's so hard for people to get rich when they just leave their money in the bank. They don't have the financial capabilities, the financial strategies. They don't have that community yet. Now you're getting involved. You're getting made aware of, hey, I can make my money work for me just like the bank is working, my money working for them, right? And that's why it takes so long for you to get your money out if you ever request a lot of money, because they have your money out. They have it loaned out. They don't have it sitting in the bank themselves. They have promising notes to everybody. So if you learn to think percentages, your life will grow exponentially. All right. So just keep that in mind. The bank is cool for you getting your direct deposit, but that's why we separate into 3 different bank accounts, because now you can send it out to 3 different banks. So what you're going to do is go to your 9 to 5, tell them I want this amount being sent here, 10% being sent here, 20% to sit here, and then 70% sitting here. And you just set up each of your accounts to be automatic payment, and you don't have to worry about nothing. Easy, y'all. So simple. That's the automation right there, right? And you get to your sleep number. This is what we're trying to get to. 4% a year. 4% a year. The bank was making 4% by lending that money out to buy a house or something. And they're doing that for 30 years. They're making 4% off of that money that you got as a loan. And they're cashing out on that, right? You could be doing the same thing. So find out your monthly expenses, multiply by 300, then find an account making at least 4%. And there you go. You are living passively. All right. So I said it before. This is Wealth Warriors, y'all. Community of individuals utilizing financial capabilities to strengthen neighborhoods. With the access to wealth, we are able to take more action. Okay. Now, I am actually going to give y'all some financial capabilities, but I want to do a disclaimer. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not investment advice. Make sure you seek out the proper research or seek out an advisor. Joseph Barr, Mr. Invest in Yourself, is not one. So he is not responsible for any of your incomes. All right. These are just, like I said earlier, these are strategies that I use myself. And once you become a part of a community, you can get more strategies from other people and see what works for you and what doesn't. So that way you can do more research. Okay. So, strategies to keep you moving. Let's get into the fun stuff. First off, cash back is easy money. Get paid to spend money. It has to be the greatest hack with money, right? I know a lot of people are scared of credit cards, but you don't have to. I'm just telling you to get rid of your debit card and stick to a credit card. All right? Because whenever you spend money on a cashback credit card, what you're going to do is you're only going to spend up to the amount that you have in your account. You're not going to overspend because you're only living off 70% of your money. And most of that money is going to utilities, groceries, or whatever. All right? Liabilities are covered. You got those. Your investments are covered. You're good. So 70% of your money is what you're spending on, right? This is what living in your means is about. But now, whenever you spend that money, you're going to get money back for spending that money. So you're making money from spending money that you was going to spend anyway with a debit card. Okay? So, like I said, I like to check mine on Sundays because the banks are closed. And I say, okay, cool. Go ahead and start doing my transactions. So Monday, I know all these transactions are going to get paid. Boom, boom, boom. All right? It's like, it's thinking, y'all. It's like another level. Next thing is become your own bank, or a PRA, which stands for Private Reserve Account. Now, this right here offers you safety. Your money is not subject to being lost. All right, it's safe. It's liquid. You can borrow from yourself at any time. You don't need to like qualify for your own money. Have you ever thought it was funny how you stick all this money into the bank and then you ask the bank, hey, can I get a loan on this? And they doing a credit check. They need your income. They need your employment. They need to know your mother's name. They need to know your father's name. They need to know when you was born. They need to ask you a lot of questions just to get you the loan out your money. With this, become your own bank. You can borrow from yourself. All you have to say is, hey, I need this. I need $10,000. They'll say, okay, so and so, where you want us to send the money to? We'll have it to you in about 3 or 4 days. All right. Rate of return. That is that percentage amount I was talking about. And most of the time, the rate of return is better than inflation. Tax advantages. So, most of the time, whenever you're making money and growing your money, it's taxed as capital gains tax. With you becoming your own bank, all that money that you make and you're becoming your own bank is tax free. You don't pay anything on the growth of your account. And then last, but the most important, is a family legacy. Life isn't guaranteed. So financial stability should be what you leave to your next family member. All right. That is all becoming your own bank. Right. And becoming your own bank, or your PRA, is basically a cash value whole life insurance. All right. Cash value whole life insurance. Right. It's letting your money work for you and keeping your family protected. We're going to go over more of this a little later. Now, I know a lot of people love the 401k. I'm just showing you just some simple 401k disadvantages and why I feel like a PRA, or become your own bank, is a little better. You can only borrow when you're at the company. Did you know that? Yes. So if you are not, so a lot of people like to put their money into a 401k because they get match. right? Which is great. But did you know that for you to get all that money, you have to be vested? Vested, that means all the money that the company put in. For you to get that, you have to be vested. That means most of the time you have to be there at least 5 years. In this generation nowadays, if people got their job for 5 years, you're doing pretty good. It's not like back in the day where people used to be at their job for like 20 years. We be jumping around so much that 5 years seem like a very long time, right? But we went to school all these years. It's so funny. All right. So you can only borrow while you're at the company, and then you're taxed at a later date. So a lot of people like to put their money in. It's like, oh, I'm not taxed on this money now. It's like that's my 10% growth, which is great, cool. But I'd rather get taxed right now on my 10% growth than get taxed later, because if you haven't paid attention, taxes are only going up. And then get this, the government's form of income is taxes. Let me say that one more time. The government's form of income is taxes. So as the government goes into more and more debt, don't you think they're going to raise the tax rate a little bit higher so they can get more money out of us, right? Now get this with the 401k. You get penalized for taking money out before 59 and a half, and I think they actually just raised that. But it's your money. How are you getting penalized for taking out your money that you work for, right? And then get this, the money is in the markets. You're basically paying somebody to manage your money in the markets. So you have risks of losing the money. And it's not going to be your fault, it's going to be their fault, but it's your money. So who can take better care of your money? You are them. If you learn what you need to do, you will have more safety, more reserves, more conservative to take care of your money, right? If you can do it, which is what I bring up my next thing. Open up you a brokerage account, right? Open me up, right? And this is how Wall Street Trapper, he always talk about this. He'd be like, first you buy stocks, then you buy businesses, and then finally you buy real estate. And this is so true, because stocks are the lowest cost of entry into the money game. And what I like to do is get started with indexes. They allow me to earn money right now. So instead of sticking my money into the bank, I actually stick it into the VOO, which is the S&P 500, which is the average of the top 500 companies. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh my gosh, Joe, like what if the stock market crash?" I'll be like, "Well, if the stock market crash, then the economy is done. Like, I don't know what you thought. Like, your money's going to be for real worthless, because most of the richest people in the world, they own stocks." So that's why I say I like to stick my savings into the VOO instead of leaving it in a bank, because index stock conservatively earns about anywhere from like 4 to 10% a year. All right. And then if you learn about REITs, you can get dividend payouts. Now that's passive income for real. Now REITs won't earn you a percentage on your money really well, but they'll pay you out each and every quarter or year. They'll pay you out. So that's how you can have that passive income. All of this is done with stocks. You don't have to sell nothing to nobody. You don't have to talk to anybody. All you're doing is just reading, researching, and putting things into action. Okay. Now, get this. This is money in the market, right? And we want to use our reserves. So you find your income to produce the capital. You use that what you have, not what you need. This is why I say that 10% can automatically be going over here. You put those into indices, right? This is what I do. And then I let that money capitalize. So that money is earning anywhere from 4, and I think this year we're up on about like 17%. So my money is earning 17% on the dollar, right? So that means every $100 I'm making $17, or every $1,000 I'm making $170, or every $1,000,000 I'm making $170,000, right? Then I'll take that money out of buy and hold, and I'll stick into dividends, and I'll allow my money that was buy and hold, that extra money that I got from the buy and hold, I stick that into dividends, right? So that money is free money, it's market money. That money is earning dividends, which is paying a passive income. Now I'm getting paid that passive income, like I'm using a dollar more than one way. You see what's going on here? So I took what I earned, this is what I earned, and I stuck it into here, right? This earned me some extra money and I stuck into here. The extra money I stuck into here. The extra money I get from this, I'll put it into the options. Now, when you're getting good at options, now your money will exponentially grow. And I haven't talked to nobody. This is just me working normal and then letting my money work in the market. That's why I said the 401k, cool. It's cool and everything, but why not we take advantage of ourselves? The system is in place for you to win. This is why I said the wealth warriors. You have the system to play. You just need the system actually. Save yourself time, energy, and money with strategies. Okay. Now, get this. This is my favorite app to use. It's called the M1 Finance. As I said, I stick as the index, the Vanguard 500, the VOO. I treat this as a savings account. And the reason I use M1 Finance is because I have the capability to borrow, right? And then once you wanted to get into some growth companies, here's the Magnificent Seven, brought to you by Wall Street Trapper. The Magnificent Seven companies that's like growing money exponentially. It's Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google, Tesla, and Nvidia. M1 Finance is I like it. I'm not getting paid or sponsored by them or anything, but I really like it because you're able to stick your money in there. It has a cool layout. Their platform is really nice. It's very simple, very easy to see. Then you can borrow out your money. You can use that money to grow other assets. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about is you finding extra money. Reduce your taxes, right? You're overpaying. That's what a refund is. It's just all the money that you overpay for the year. And if you're waiting once a year to get that, imagine if you can get it monthly. What if you get an instant pay raise? If you can get it monthly, now you can utilize that money to pay down debt faster, or you can grow your wealth faster, whichever one you want. Reduce your utility fees. You can call to eliminate additional fees in your building. They are saying that it's almost like $60 million being charged to Americans each and every year on top of their normal bills. You need somebody to call that knows how to talk that through to reduce that amount so you can keep more money in your pocket, and that way you can either pay off your debt or grow your wealth. Did you know that when you have a higher credit score, it gives you lower insurance, better interest rates, and more access to funding? So what we do is we increase your credit score and we help you get there, because once you're increased credit score, then you go in there and you refinance. And when you refinance, that allows you to lower your payments right then and there. Okay. Then we want to redirect the interest to you. So earlier I talked about taking your money and borrowing from it. Once your accounts are big enough, say you got M1 Finance and your M1 Finance grows to $20,000, you can basically take that $20,000 and say you got a $20,000 car. You can borrow the $20,000 from your M1 Finance. That money is going to continue making interest for you, and you're going to pay off your car. And instead of you paying the bank back for the car loan, you'll pay yourself back the car loan. So that means your $20,000 in M1 Finance is still making you money, and now you're paying yourself back. Now you're capturing all that interest into yourself, and you're allowing all this money to be made. Last but not least, you're going to cut your expenses that are not making you money. Now, you don't really have to do this, but it's just something that you can do if you want to if you want to like grow your money a little faster. What I like to do is just have your assets pay for them and not you. So that is cutting your expenses. It's just letting your assets pay for them. Okay. Um, Sales. Sales just basically is solving a problem. How could you help solve a problem? And then you solve that problem by offering your service either physically or intellectually. Whenever you begin selling, you sell with emotions. We buy 70% on emotions and 30% on logic. So we're mostly running away from pain, but running towards pleasure. So if you can figure out how to say, hey, you have a problem here. If you're willing to exchange this amount of money, I can help you solve your problem. That is basically all sales is. You don't need no twisting the arm tactics. Not everybody needs your solution. That's the thing. You find your target people and you sell to them. Those people that actually have a problem. Don't create a problem for them and then sell your product. That's why salesmen get a bad rep. You already find these people that already have this consistent problem. And if you can find a consistent problem that a lot of people have, then you can help solve, you can help make a lot of sales from that selling. Okay. Now, favorite thing for me, exponential earnings is Forex trading, right? So Forex trading is great because it's very lucrative. You just have to have the right strategy in place for your goals. So the items you need: mentor. Why I say mentor twice? Because you really need a mentor if you're gonna start trading Forex. All right. You need to find a trading style. You need to have patience. You got to be consistent, and you need a strategy. Find an industry mentor. All right. It's very important you get a mentor because you want to learn how to be a copycat of their strategy. Then you'll develop your own strategy and grow that exponentially. And then you'll use other people's money with like My Forex Funds, Top Tier Trader, or FTMO, something like that, so you can have access to other people's money and you can grow it even faster. All right. So speaking of mentor, I actually got a Forex community. It is called Saiyan Trader. I'm a big anime fan, and I like to think of trading like as a fight, right? And first, you must understand the language before you become a Saiyan trader, right? I recommend babypips.com. It's a free service. It will walk you through the language. You have to understand the language of the Forex market. In any market you ever get in, if you start doing the e-commerce, if you start doing wholesaling, you start doing Turo, you start doing podcasting, anything like that, stocks, you need to learn the language. So always find a mentor to learn the language, basically, right? So with Saiyan Trader, we actually have a Discord. I give you trade ideas. So what I do is I'll show you the screen, and I use a lot of fibs, and I'll show you where you can enter at, where you can put your stop loss at, where you can take profit, all those cool things. We got some amazing indicators you can choose from. So it's just a community, y'all. Like I said, this is all part of the Wealth Warrior community. It's Saiyan Trader. So real quick, those that are into trading or would like to learn, just want to show you how it really works, how simple it is. So we basically look for engulfing candles, and engulfing means that one candle is bigger than the other. So you see how this green candle is bigger than this red one? That hasn't happened anywhere else before this, or it happened right here. See how this red candle is bigger than this green candle? So you enter right there, and you'll take it all the way down. Same with right here. This is where you enter at right here. You put your stop right on this other side, and then you just let it run. And then you have a target. We'll show you how to set the target limits, and then boom, that's it. And that's pretty much it. It's just engulfing candles. We have an indicator that literally points like an arrow right here whenever any of these engulfing candles form. So once you see the arrow, basically, you can say, okay, cool. That's like I need to be getting ready to get into the trade. Real simple, real easy, y'all. And it's exponential wealth. Once you start really getting into the Forex learning, then you'll understand like how you can exponentially grow your money. And I will say this, if you do decide to join Saiyan Trader, one thing we do with our Saiyan Trader money is all the money we make from there is we use that to pay off debt quicker with the velocity banking, because once you're debt free, then you're able to really get your expenses, like your assets, to really take care of your expenses, like your day-to-day expenses. But usually the biggest thing is your debt, your minimum payments on your debt is taking up your expenses, right? So we use Saiyan Trader to become debt free. And then once you're debt free, then you just use all your Saiyan Trader money to fund your VOO, right? And you just fund that as high as possible, right? And then you start doing those other things. You'll take that dividend money, you take that money into options, and then you'll borrow from your options money to buy more assets. It's just a whole big play. Wealth Warriors, y'all. Like I said, community. So we went through most of the steps right there, the Wealth Warrior steps. All right. It's real simple, real easy. It all takes the organization and then the allocation to start this whole process. Okay. Here's YouTube University. These are some of the top 5 people that I listen to on a daily basis to help. Wall Street Trapper. He teaches financial just lifestyle in general. Like, it gets your mindset there. But he teaches the stocks and options. And you learn how to put your money in the market. And his favorite quote is, "No longer do we get it out the mud, but we get it out the market," right? He have an impressive story. I definitely say go check him out on YouTube University. Social Proof, the entrepreneur channel. I actually found Wall Street Trapper through Social Proof. So Social Proof is just a podcast, and it shows you, it's like the real community. Another morning meetup. It shares a lot of different entrepreneurship strategies. Like, if you want to build a financial, entrepreneurship of anything, definitely check out Social Proof. He probably interviewed somebody that's done dope things to show you how to really, like, he shows you the mentorship. He shows you the mentorships. He gives you access to the mentorships. Okay. Wealth Nation, become your own bank. You'll learn the entire process of becoming your own bank, building your wealth for the future. They're an incredible couple. They literally break it down for you along with Denzel Rodriguez. They break down how to become your own bank, how to structure it, how it all works. Anthony O'Neill, he gives you very faith-based financial strategies. They're real simple. He talks about paying off debt, which I like. And he has a lot of people that he actually interviews too. So that's really good to go check him out. 19 Keys. 19 Keys is about having higher level conversations, right? So earlier when I said change your conversations, you'll change your realization, and it will open it up to more compensation. This is where you can change your conversations with higher level conversations, right? Not low level conversations. Remember, I made a video about, most of the time, a lot of people are mad that somebody doesn't call them as often. But think about, how are you contributing to that person's growth? Maybe that person had to distance themselves from you to actually grow themselves because your conversations with them was low level conversations. So once you start having higher level conversations, you have more people attracted to you. All right. But y'all, last thing I got for y'all is a bonus about business funding. So once you have that personal credit of 720 and above, you can be a personal guarantor for your business. And then we're going to show you about bank ratings in just a second, but you can apply that funding to help your business grow faster. But I would say this is, when you start your business, make sure you implement 3 bank accounts with them too. 10% should come to you for payment. 20% should go back into your marketing and everything, and then 70% is just going to just the basis of running your business, right? And then 20% like marketing, like getting a different product, like a software product or something, like, or hiring out somebody, or that's your salaries for other people, whatever, something like that. And then 70% is just using that to continue rolling. Okay. Bank ratings, yo. So as earlier when I was talking about the credit cards, you can get different starter accounts, but with the bank ratings and the bank credit score, what you want to do is you want to have a lot of money into the account so you can get more funding. Okay. So depending on the amount of money you have in an account is how much of the funding you can get. So this is why it's very important that you can use one bank to get funding, stick it into another bank, and then use that bank to get a higher funding, and then you can go back to the other bank and got more funding, and you can learn to leverage this. So once you get to the high 5 accounts, you can get access to some serious money. All right. So with business accounts, it's a little different than becoming your own bank. But I still recommend becoming your own bank. But you want to leave your money in the bank account so they can see that you have money in the bank. And this is very good because when you learn about stocks, you learn about the free cash flow. That's the money they got sitting in the bank. And the better that is, the better their company is. So that's the same thing with the banks. That's why I tell everybody, start with the stocks, because the stocks will really help you learn how to run your own business. But like I said, Wealth Warriors, y'all, I just want to keep drilling this in. It's a community of individuals utilizing their financial capabilities to strengthen neighborhoods with the access to wealth, which I hope that you can see how you can have more access to wealth. Now, we're able to take the action when needed. Okay, y'all? But listen, I got a partnership. We partner with a company that have experts. Reduce your taxes, reduce your billing, help write letters to build your credit, and help set up a PRA account, which is a private reserve account. Then you got mentorship. You got mentorship to for trading. Like I said, the sand training. We are going to be there with the Discord and everything to really help you leverage that. And then we have the university where we teach you a little bit of everything. Earlier, I said I'm really big on just learning, just getting out there, finding mentors. So whenever I take any kind of mentor course, by you being a part of Wealth Warriors, you are able to get that information that I learned, and I'm able to pass it down to you. Okay. So they always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So I want to show y'all this quick video of showing y'all of the company that I partner with, and they'll explain a little bit more about their services. So here it is.
Introducing the MWR membership, your personal team of financial experts that use proven strategies to help you increase, multiply, and protect your cash flow. With this incredible membership, you'll have everything you need to reduce or eliminate your taxes, monthly expenses, and debts, while also being able to increase your cash flow, credit scores, and investment income, all at the same time. And best of all, you don't have to become a financial expert because our experts do all the work. This all starts with MWR's Reduce My Taxes platform that includes our instant pay raise strategy and your very own tax hotline that provides you with unlimited tax advice on demand with top-rated CPAs and enrolled agents with the IRS. These experts will immediately help you stop overpaying on your taxes and help you use the home-based business tax laws to pay even less. This one service has already helped thousands of people, just like you, get an instant pay raise of hundreds and even thousands of dollars every month, starting with their very next paycheck. Our experts do this by adjusting your W-4 for you to stop tax overpayments. They will then help you turn your personal expenses into legitimate home-based business deductions, so you can pay even less. And they will even review your last 3 years' tax returns to see if they can recover any overpayments your tax preparer may have missed or help you resolve any past tax issues. The results equals your tax dollars are shifted back to you from the government. Our next goal is to lower your monthly expenses with MWR's Lower My Bill experts. This service provides you with your own team of professional bill negotiators that will immediately go to work on your behalf to lower your regular monthly bills. Things like your cell phone, cable, satellite, security, internet, utilities bills, insurances, and a whole lot more without you having to change plans or service providers. The results equal big savings shifted back to you from big business. But it doesn't stop there. Debt is one of the biggest financial challenges for most Americans to overcome. However, this is no longer the case thanks to MWR's Eliminate My Debt program. By simply plugging into our proprietary debt elimination system, you'll be able to eliminate all your debts, including your mortgage, in record time without having to pay one dime more than you are right now. This incredible system provides you with a detailed monthly plan of action to accelerate your payoff dates and interest savings. You can also combine this service with our diversified cash flow account to actually turn your debt into wealth. The results? Debt payments shifted back to you from the banks and big business. Think about it. What would your life look like if your debt was zero and the money you spent on your debts was actually able to make you money? Sounds amazing, right? Well, it is. And while you're thinking about that, let's talk about how you got into this mess in the first place. Credit. This is the price we pay for the things we can't afford, and it's totally not your fault. Thanks to the effects of inflation, combined with overpaying on our taxes and regular monthly expenses, this causes most of us to finance a lifestyle instead of ever being able to own it. This scenario has also created the greatest retirement crisis in American history. Our CEO, Brian House, says it best. Credit is the gateway to debt, and debt is the pathway to poverty. As long as you're paying interest, that's money you can never save, invest, or pay yourself. And he's right. This is also why it's important to keep your credit scores as high as possible, so you can lower your interest rates, monthly payments, and insurance premiums. Our Restore My Credit experts can do this for you by helping you restore, enhance, and rebuild your credit, while also providing you with access to everything you need to order, monitor, and protect it. The credit restoration strategies and experts we provide have already helped over 100,000 satisfied customers experience an average credit score increase of 50 to 150 points or more in as little as 2 to 8 months, and you could be next. The results? Interest savings shifted back to you from the banks, so you can make yourself wealthy instead of your creditors. But that's not all. Each of these strategies are also designed to increase your cash flow and credit scores, while simultaneously lowering your debt-to-income ratios, so you can start accumulating assets and obtaining conventional financing for good debts, instead of paying high interest rates and down payments. And if you're currently renting, these services combined with our Keys to Homeownership program can even help you purchase your dream home. You heard me right. Regardless of your current credit history or credit scores, our Keys to Homeownership experts can help you locate the home that's best for you, buy it for you, and let you rent to own or lease option the property until you can purchase it on your own. And if you follow their guidance, make your payments timely, and are unable to obtain conventional financing on your own within 36 months, they can even owner finance the property for you. Now that you know how we can shift your taxes, interest, expenses, and debt payments back to you, it's time to put this additional cash flow to work by turning these savings into passive streams of investment income. Our wealth experts can help you make this a reality by providing you with the best ways to save, grow, and protect your money, tax-free, with little to no risk of loss. They do this by utilizing high-yield investment strategies that have been used by the wealthy for decades, strategies that until now have been withheld from over 94% of the American population. Why? Because most of the companies that provide these strategies only focus their marketing efforts on individuals that earn $250,000 per year or more, also known as sophisticated investors. This has made the wealthy wealthier while excluding the people that need it the most. Well, not anymore. With your MWR membership, you'll now have full access to your own personal team of wealth experts that can analyze your current savings or investment portfolio and/or help you design the wealth plan that is best for you. And just like all our services, our wealth experts will do the work for you. Their first goal is to help you set up and structure your own self-banking, private reserve account, or diversified cash flow account. Imagine being able to participate in stock market gains without ever having to experience those scary losses. And how would you like to be able to borrow from yourself while the money you borrowed continues to earn interest as if it never left your account, with no taxes, fees, or early withdrawal penalties? Well, now you can. In addition to being able to become your own bank, our experts will also help you participate in one of the oldest, safest, and most profitable wealth building strategies, land banking. This strategy gives you the ability to buy land in the path of growth at 20 to 40% below market value that is located and purchased for you by real experts with a proven track record of success. They can even show you how you may be able to become a landowner without ever having to write a check. And last, but certainly not least, MWR's Trust My Assets experts can help you live and leave a legacy by providing you with everything you need to establish a series of private trusts specifically designed to legally, ethically, and morally eliminate taxes, while also providing your family with the maximum amount of protection for all of your assets at a fraction of the cost. In the words of John D. Rockefeller, your goal should be to own nothing but control everything, just like the wealthiest people in the world have done for decades. The results? Your money grows and works for you. You become the bank, instead of ever having to depend on one again. And you get to participate in the same asset accumulation strategies used by the wealthy, while also being able to secure you and your family's legacy for generations to come. With that said, it's important to mention that everyone's financial situation is different, and results may vary. However, with your own team of financial experts, you'll have peace of mind in knowing that you can get confidential and compliant results provided by licensed and qualified experts. In other words, you never have to share any of your personal financial information with the person that shared MWR Financial with you. So, what are you waiting for? Get back to the person that referred you to this information so you can start increasing, multiplying, and protecting your cash flow today.
All right, so I hope that you really enjoy that video. Like I said, that's the partnership with MWR. They got the experts help. You got funding tips. They didn't even go over, like, we can actually help you do like land banking, so you can actually purchase like land in the path of growth. like I said, you already got the Forex stock, additional service, mindset growth. You got the higher level conversations. And then we got duplication. We teach you how to establish a long-term duplicate process if you did want to share this with others and everything. But just to get started in the Wealth Warrior community and everything, it's only $149 a month. That's it, y'all. You get $149 a month and you get access to all of this. If you want to start an actual business with MWR, it's $249. It's just an extra $100. But $149 monthly can get you all access to everything, right? So just for y'all staying so long, I am actually going to email y'all a free ebook, right? All you gotta do is drop your email with us if you haven't already, or email me directly at mrinvestingyourself@gmail.com. We'll definitely help provide you with a free ebook. It's just the ultimate guide to financial peace. It's actually breaking down the financial statement a little bit more and everything. And then one last thing I want to leave y'all with before I leave is just a play, right? Whether you get started with Wealth Warriors or not, if you want to be part of this community, and you can always just reach out. You can follow us on social media. You can always be a part of the community there. We always drop a little tips here and there. But if you want more in-depth and organization of how to get this all laid out, come join us at Wealth Warriors. But here's a play that I did actually. All right, so I turned my income into capital, right? So that's the job income. I stuck all that money into VOO and I just let it grow, right? All of my extra cash. I borrowed from the M1 to purchase a vehicle and I stuck that vehicle on Turo, right? So 10% of that income comes to me yearly. I'm just taking 10%. And then 10% is going to the business VOO, right? Because I want the business to have some more funding or more options for it to grow. And then the rest goes off to paying off the loan and from the M1 account and then paying the car off. And as soon as the car is paid off, I'm able to transfer that car to one of my family members. I don't want to put the car on here right now because the car is not paid off and somebody's getting lucky with a free vehicle coming soon. So that's just a play I do, y'all. As always, follow me on YouTube. This is like the best place where I'm dropping these personal financial tips to financial peace. And just subscribe there. Stay involved, stay connected. Like I said, this is Wealth Warriors. We're excited to have everybody. Closing remarks. Look, you can print money and you can buy freedom. Wall Street Trapper always says, if you allow them to feed you, you give them permission to starve you, right? So if you're not just taking control of your own money, if you're not setting up a term life insurance just in case your family, something should happen to you, they're taken care of in the long run, you have that peace about you. You know, reducing your tax contributions so you can allow more cash flow to take care of you, finding your sleep number, reaching out, trying to put things in place to get your sleep number. All this is very important. No one can outwork you, but the information the other person has is why they are ahead. All right. You have access now. You have information. And these are generational principles. Like, you can teach this to your next generation. Like, everything I just taught you right now is just a simple bare bone basics. Bare bone basics. Filling out a financial statement. Once you get that, you know your cash flow. Stick that into an asset. Let that asset grow and then pay off your expenses. Take your liabilities, try to knock them down as fast as you can with velocity banking, or start learning how to be a digital entrepreneur of some sort to pay off your liabilities even faster. But make sure you live a little off your luxury lifestyle. And then when you become a spiritual warrior, just give back to others. Like, really start giving back. But other than that, y'all, like I said, this is Elite Prosperity LLC. And that is the mother company. The company I talked about today is Wealth Warriors. So definitely appreciate y'all for being involved, for staying this long. I know this was a pretty long video, but overall, I just want to thank y'all for staying. And if y'all got any questions, be sure to hit me up. Look forward to talking to any of y'all. Look forward to the comments. Make sure y'all share this, rewatch it a couple of times. Come join me in my next webinar. Hopefully I got like a webinar channel where we can just do webinars at. Like I said, this is on YouTube for now. This is the first one of many. And look forward to helping and assisting y'all in this path of growth and making our communities a lot stronger. I can't do it by myself, so that's why I need other warriors to come join me. I love y'all as always, and y'all definitely take care. Peace.